faster than they used to. And the big question is, where are these talents? We hardly have people and talents that can fit into this role. And that's why 72% of employers are currently looking for you. For those of you that have the skill, or for those of you that have built skills in AI, you stand a chance of earning 67% higher pay, higher remuneration than your counterparts. Okay, so having the skills to fit into these roles. So first of all, is establish that employers are looking for you, they want you. But a lot of people don't have the skills, and because of that, AI skills today are in high demand. And if you have those skills, you stand a chance of increasing your earning potential by at least 67%. And over 41 countries, not just employers, not just organizations, but countries are already reporting a shortage in technology and AI talents. And it's time for these talents to spring out of Africa, spring out of Nigeria, spring out of from Ghana, from Kenya, different areas in Africa, and take advantage of these opportunities. So if you're a student or a fresh graduate, this is the best session for you today. If you're a job seeker, you are somebody who is a working professional, you want to get better at what you do, it takes you 24 hours or 48 hours to generate a report and share with your team lead, with your line manager. How do you get that done a lot faster? So you start to see the opportunity to get a promotion within the workplace. If you're an entrepreneur, how do you ensure that you embed AI into what you do? And of course, for freelancers who try to get gigs across multiple platforms, this is a session you don't want to miss for anything. So just like I mentioned earlier, I want you to copy the link, share it with a friend, share it in that group where you belong, get as many people into the session. Let's have an amazing time together. So I'll do a very quick introduction about myself and why I am here today to speak to you. Okay, so I'm going to spotlight so everyone gets to see me. All right, so why am I here today? Why am I speaking to you? My name is Adeza Suleiman, and I'm a technology expert with over a decade experience cutting across data analytics, management consulting, data science, and data engineering. Over the last decade, my focus has been on helping individuals just like you to make that transition into the tech ecosystem. I'm the founder of Tenalytics, and using Tenalytics as a platform, I've been able to help over 4,000 people with no prior experience, no prior background to transition into their very first job in tech. But guess what? I did not study computer science. I did not study anything technology in the university. My first degree in the university was industrial chemistry. I studied industrial chemistry, okay? But then I decided to transition. So if you are here on the call today and you studied sociology, you studied physiology, you studied economics, you studied something totally not related to what you do today, I want you to know that you can also transition into a career path within tech. We've helped over 4,000 people do that, and I'll be showing you how you can do the same. I'll give you a chronology of my experience and where I've worked and the things I've done over the years. I currently reside in Canada, and I'm currently a data analytics and engineering contractor in Canada. I've lived in the UK, I've studied in the UK, I've worked in the UK as a data science consultant, and I've also worked remotely back when I was in Nigeria, working for companies in the US and helping them transform their Tableau reports into Power BI and so on and so forth. I did that back when I was in Nigeria, working remotely for companies in the US. I worked with one of the largest privately owned energy conglomerates in sub-Saharan Africa as a data analyst within the business performance unit. I've also worked with FITC, owned by the Bankers Committee and the Central Bank of Nigeria. My experience spans across 5 different sectors, from sports to financial services, where I started my career. I transitioned into energy, educational technology, and automobile. Like I mentioned earlier, currently reside in Canada, and my focus has been on helping other professionals who want to make the same transition. For somebody like me who came from industrial chemistry to doing amazing stuff within the analytics and tech space, I want to help so many other people do the same. And who are we at Tenalytics? For those of you meeting us for the very first time, Tenalytics is the leading educational technology company focused on helping professionals, people land high-paying jobs within the tech ecosystem. We operate out of Alberta in Canada and also London in the UK. Over the last 5 years, since 2020 to date, in August 2026, Tenalytics will turn 6. We've helped over 4,000 people within the space of less than 6 years. We've helped nurses become AI data analysts. We've helped bankers become AI project managers. We've helped people with no experience, teachers, become healthcare data analysts, and so on and so forth. And the big question is, how did they do it? We've done that over the last 5 years, helping over 4,000 people to transition. We have over 172 full-time employees and access to over 300 industry experts across the globe, from the UK to the US, across Europe to Africa, and so on and so forth. We focus on different areas. When people say tech is very broad, and we focus on different areas within the space in the tech ecosystem, from AI data analytics to cybersecurity to health tech to business analysis, project management, and so on and so forth. But I'll be focusing on specific areas today during our session. The areas for those of you who want to land remote jobs, working out of Nigeria, working out of Africa, for those of you who want to relocate, travel out of the country, and get to do the best type of jobs available. You don't want to move to the UK and get to do jobs you don't want to do. You don't want to move to Canada, move to the US, and do the menial jobs. You want to get a proper job. I'll focus on the areas you need to start building skills in, and I'll show you some case studies of people that have gone ahead of you and have been able to get success out of it. Now, here's my first question to you today. Okay, like I said, our session will be very interactive. And here's my first question. What is more important? Okay, I'll share two things with you, and I want you to tell me which of them do you think is more important? What you believe employers want from you, or what employers actually want from you? So one is what you believe employers want, and the second is what employers actually want from you. Out of these two, which one do you think is more important? What should you focus on? What you believe or what employers actually want? You can type into the chat, okay? If you believe that what you believe employers want is more important, just type what you believe. If you believe what employers actually want is more important, type what employers actually want, okay? So type that in the chat. Let's keep the conversations going. I want to know your thoughts on this particular matter. Okay, so Joel says what employers actually want from me. Fantastic. Let's keep it coming. I want to see the other opinions and what you think, your ideas, and share your thoughts with me. Okay, so what is more important? Just type into the chat, Chiamaka. Okay, type into the chat what you believe employers want from you or what employers actually want. Joel has responded, and Joel says what employers actually want from me. He believes that that is more important than what he thinks the employers want. Okay, so type into the chat. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep the session engaging. Okay, so type, let's know your thoughts, and then we get cracking with the rest of our session. Okay. Olua Bukola says what employers actually want from me. Let's get 2-3 more feedbacks and then we move on. So Joel and Olua Bukola agrees that what employers actually want is more important than what you think or what you believe. Okay, so let's get more feedback coming in. Chiamaka says actually want. So what employers actually want, okay? What employers actually want. Alayonde Abayomi, thanks for that. Let's get more feedback. So one more feedback and then we move on. But I've not seen any different opinion from what employers actually want. We believe this is more important. Okay, we believe that's more important. Fantastic. So if we agree that what the employers actually want from us is more important than what we think, then the big question is, What do employers want from you? Okay, what do employers want from you? And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Again, in sharing that, let's look at this very quick analogy. You want to hire an AI automation engineer. So you run a business, you want to hire an AI automation engineer to work with you in your organization, and you're considering 2 people to fill that role. The first candidate, his name is Mr. A. Maybe A for Abayomi. Okay, we have an Abayomi on the call. Okay, so we have Mr. A. Mr. A has done 7 certifications from Udemy, Coursera, edX, different platforms, 7 AI certifications. Mr. A has knowledge of ChatGPT. So he goes on ChatGPT, writes a lot of prompts, and so on and so forth. Mr. A also has knowledge of Claude, prompting in Claude, and also knowledge of Gemini, writing prompts in Gemini. That's Mr. A. Then you have Miss B. Okay, Miss B has 7 AI automation projects. She has completed 7 AI automation projects. And she also has a portfolio where she has documented and can demonstrate to anyone the project she has built. These are the 2 candidates. One of them has 7 certificates, knowledge of ChatGPT, knowledge of Claude, knowledge of Gemini. The second person has 7 AI automation projects, a portfolio to show that I've built this project and I can demonstrate this project. This is the documentation of the project. Remember, we want to hire an AI automation engineer. My question is, who gets the job? Mr. A or Miss B? Type A or B into the chat. I'd like to know your thoughts, okay? So Joel says Miss B. Okay, Joel is always the first to respond. I like that, Joel. Keep it up. Let's keep it coming. Adebayo says Miss B. Eddie says Miss B. Interesting. But if you look at it, Mr. A has 4 different things. Miss B has just 2. But we all agree that Miss B should get the job. And my question is why? Why should Miss B get the job? Joel says Miss B. Oluwabukola says Miss B. Eddie says Miss B. Kelechuku says Miss B. Chiamaka says B. Why B? Why have you said Miss B should get the job? Abayomi also says B. I'd like to know why B? Why not A that has 7 AI certificates, knows ChatGPT, knows Claude, knows Gemini? Why should Miss B get the job? I'd like to know. One person. Okay, Joel says she has proven project executed. Absolutely phenomenal. I like that, Joel. Proven project executed. Kelechuku says she has a proven track record. Fantastic track record. Project executed. Evidence that I've done that job before. Evidence that I've done the things you want me to do when you hire me. And that's why even though Mr. A has all the certifications possible, Ms. B still gets the job. Why? Because certificates don't get you job. But the mistake a lot of people make is they don't position themselves as Miss B. They position themselves as Mr. A. You chase all the certificates, you chase all the certifications you can get, the free certifications on Coursera, on YouTube, on it. You do all those things. Oh, I can write prompts on ChatGPT, I can write Claude, I can do Gemini, and you wonder how that gets you a job. And you apply to jobs multiple times and you still cannot get things done in terms of what is required to do that job for an AI automation engineering role, for example. Okay, now remember, Mukhtar says, I choose Mr. A because Mr. A is always updating his knowledge. That is what you think. Remember how we started our session today? I asked you 2 questions and I said, what do you think is more important? Or which do you think is more important? What you believe or what the employers want? So if you always act based on what you believe, you get it wrong. You would apply to jobs multiple times, you won't get any invite for interviews. You'd wonder why other people are getting remote jobs and you are not getting remote jobs. So Mukhtar is not about what you think or what you believe. It's about what the employers want from you. And you have just validated that if you are an employer, most of you here have validated that. Joel validated, Rhoda validated, okay, and Olua Bukola validated that if I were to hire any of these two candidates, I'll go with Miss B because Miss B has proven experience, proven projects completed, a track record. Employers want to see that from you. They want to see only two things from you. Any employer anywhere in the world, in Lagos, Nigeria, in Alberta, Canada, Calgary, Edmonton, wherever, in Ontario, in the UK, London, Leeds, anywhere in the world, they want to see that you have the skills to do the job and you have the experience that you've done that job before. And that is what I call competence. You can summarize skills and experience into competence. Okay, so competence is not how many certifications you've completed, how well you're updating your knowledge. Nobody cares about what you've done or what, nobody cares about what you say you can do because you have a certificate. Employers only care about what you have done. Show me evidence of that project. I want to hire somebody who is an AI automation engineer. Show me your AI automation project. What type of automations have you executed? What workflows have you automated? Can I see what you have done, not what you can do? Okay, so that's very important. And for us at Tenalytics, we call this something. Okay, we have a watchword. We call this competence over credentials. And this goes beyond everything you've ever thought about before. Everybody believes I need to get that degree, I need to get that master's, I need to get that MBA, I need to do that course and get the certificate, I need to do this and do that and so on. But employers don't care about that. Okay, employers want to see what you have done. Have you done that thing before? Where is the workflow? So competence over credentials every single time. And competence comprises of your skills and your experience. So when you talk about what employers want from you, they don't want too much. They want you to show that you have the skills and the experience because you have done that thing before. Okay, so knowing this, you agree that I want to give the employers what they want, number one. Number two, I'm going to hire Miss B because Miss B has the project. She's done the project. She has 7 of them. I can look at the projects in her portfolio. She has the project, she has a portfolio. So I can go to that portfolio, see what she's built, look at the quality of the work she's done, and I know that she can do the job. Okay, so now that we know that employers want us for our competence, not for our credentials, how do we build the competence in 2026? How do you show an employer they're the right person for the job? How do you show an employer that you have the skills to do the job and you also have the experience because you've done the job before? Okay, and I'll walk you through that one by one. Okay, so the first thing you have to do, and I want you to write this down if you can. I'll show you 5 steps. It's 5 steps that have helped over 4,000 people to land jobs across the UK, across the US, across Canada, across Europe. It's helped me land my own job. These are the same 5 steps I'm going to share with you. If you want to get a job working remotely, wherever you are, working for companies abroad, earning in dollars, spending in naira, you want to leave the country, move abroad, and get the very best jobs available, number 1 step is you must learn high-demand AI skills that are eligible for what? Remote job opportunities. High-demand AI skills that are eligible for remote job opportunities. This is not you learning how to use ChatGPT or learning Gemini. I go on Instagram today and I see so many people, they create very funny videos, okay? Somebody jumping on a bird and the bird is flying with them or something. And to them, they know how to use AI. That's not AI. That's you just faffing around with, the different AI models available. The big question is, do you have the skills to do work, to make an organization more efficient, to make an organization do things a lot faster so that they can reduce waste, they can do things faster, get more efficient, increase their revenue, and reduce their costs? Do you have those skills? Those are the skills you need to learn. So that's number one. And that's simply because when you have these skills that are eligible for remote job opportunities and the skills that are in high demand, there are organizations already waiting for you. Okay, today you have approximately over 1.6 million roles available. These are AI roles available for the filling, but you have only about 518,000 qualified candidates. Only about 518,000 qualified candidates. So only about less than 40% of the roles available today can be filled by professionals available. And the big question is, who would take these jobs? There are jobs for the taking, but because you don't have the skills, you cannot get those jobs. And the big question is, how do I get the skills so I can fill the gap? So there's a massive shortage. And this is the shortage that makes AI super high in demand, but people are learning it the wrong way. Everybody shouts AI here and there, but you're learning ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and other, generative AI models, but that would not get you the job. Okay, so how do you fill the gap? 72% of employers can't find you. They can't find candidates with the skills. They want to pay more for these roles, but because they can't find you, they can't pay more. It takes over 2 months to fill a single role in AI. And the question I ask anybody is, or what I tell and advise everyone, we're over 50 here on the call today. Every single person in this room can fill the gap. This 72% gap available. Every single person here today can fill that gap. We can get these jobs. We can work remotely. We can get these jobs if we decide to travel abroad. And we can get to do the best type of jobs available. Okay, so there are jobs available. And the question is, how do we fit into these roles? So what AI role should I focus on? If the question is that there's a demand, 1.6 million jobs are available. Only 518,000 can fill these roles. Where do I focus on? Which career path do I need to focus on? So I'm going to share 6 areas you can focus on, and then I'll double down on about 3 to 4 that you should start today if you want to be a part of the people that can easily land a job, get these skills before the end of 2026. All right. And one of them is the AI data analyst role. So as an AI data analyst, you're helping organizations improve their reporting, generate their dashboards a lot faster, analyze their data a lot seamlessly. You get to use Excel, you get to use Power BI, you get to use SQL, and then you add AI tools to these tools I've mentioned, because everybody thinks they know Excel. Can you write scripts, office scripts in Excel? Can you use Copilot in Excel to automate your reports? And these are the questions you need to ask yourself. So as an AI data analyst working remotely, you can earn about $2,000 to $5,000 per month. You have the AI business analyst, the AI automation specialist, one of my favorites, AI automation engineers. And the reason why this is one of my favorites is simply because these are the people that build AI workflows, automation workflows. So that repetitive task that people always ask or people always do, how do we automate it so that we don't have to do the same thing every single day? So they remove redundancy, they remove repetitive tasks, and they make our work a lot more seamless. And that's why you'd see, based on the type of problem you solve, you see the amount you stand to earn. And I'm going to show you a project, an AI automation project today. One of our experts would come present and show you the things you would build in class when you learn AI automation engineering and any of the areas I'll be sharing and highlighting today. You have the AI content strategist, the AI project manager, and the AI HR analytics professional. So if you want to get into HR, or you're a HR professional today, you don't want to be the conventional HR, a cost center. You don't want to be that. You want to be strategic. You want to have the ability to analyze HR data, people data, and automate your processes, your onboarding, automate your talent acquisition, and the entire talent management lifecycle using different AI tools, from Bricks AI to Julius AI, and so many other things like Copilot in Excel, Copilot in Power BI, and so on and so forth. These are the 6 areas you want to focus on if you want to get into AI in 2026, not prompt engineering in ChatGPT, prompt engineering in Claude or Gemini. That is one of the things you're going to learn. That shouldn't be the focus or the main thing that you get to learn. And that's the mistake a lot of people are making today, or the mistake a lot of people make. Now, I'm going to double down on the AI data analyst career path, AI automation engineering career path, and then the AI project manager and business analysis career path. And for those in HR, there is a blend between the AI for the HR and for the data analyst. And I'm going to focus on that, and you'd see as I explain what these professionals do and how you can also get into that space. So remember, we are still on number 1 out of 5. And number 1 is learn high demand AI skills that are eligible for remote work opportunities. There's a high demand. Employers are looking for you, but they can't find people with the right skills. So what skills do I need to learn if I want to become an AI data analyst, or I want to become an AI automation engineer? If I want to become an AI data analyst, and you can see that the AI data and the HR has been combined. So I combined that deliberately, simply because you get to learn similar type of tools and technologies. The only difference is if you register for the generative AI for data and HR analytics, you have two pathways. You can either focus on data, or for those who want to focus on HR, you get to work on HR data. Okay, so your focus for any business or any organization is to do what? Use data and AI to find patterns and answer business questions. Okay, so you're going to be doing a lot of things for different organizations. All right, you would learn different tools and technologies. You'd learn how to write prompts, like I mentioned. You'd learn how to write prompts to optimize your results in different AI tools, Gemini, ChatGPT, and all the things I mentioned earlier. But that's not all. You'd also learn how to create automations using tools like Zapier. Okay, you'd learn how to perform analysis and build dashboards using Copilot in Excel, Copilot in Power BI, and so on. You're also going to learn how to generate visuals, explain trends using Power Query in Excel, and also transforming that into Power BI as well. You'd learn how to use AI tools like Quadratic AI, Julius AI, Zebra AI for your dashboards, Bricks AI for your dashboards and your data storytelling. And you learn how to build executive level dashboards using different AI tools. You're also going to learn how to use n8n, which is an automation tool. You're going to see what n8n looks like today. You'd learn how to automate where your data comes from, how to fetch your data automatically, how to clean the data, analyze the data, and report the data. So you build an end-to-end automated workflow. So that report you use Excel to generate every time, that is repetitive. You spend a lot of your time cleaning that data. For those of you that already have skills in Excel, you learn how to use a tool like n8n to automate the process. So from where you get your data to where you clean, analyze, report, it is done automatically. Okay, so you're going to learn a couple of tools. You're going to learn Excel, Copilot, SQL, Julius AI, Power BI, Bricks AI, Zebra AI, and so on and so forth. Quadratic, you learn anything to automate. Microsoft Fabric, that gives you the opportunity to have everything in one single ecosystem. And what's your fundamental role? Your fundamental role in any organization is to use data and AI to find patterns, answer business questions, and create dashboards and reports to help organizations make better decisions. All right. I worked as a data analyst for the most part of my career, and it's one of the best things that has ever happened to me. So for those of you that want to get into this area, it's a fantastic career path for anyone. And the beauty about this is you don't need to have prior work experience. You don't need to have prior knowledge. You get to learn the tools, learn the technologies, and more importantly, you get to learn how to use them to solve business problems. Okay, so for those of you that want to receive my slide before the end of the session, make sure you fill the attendance. Don't forget, fill the attendance so you get the recording, you get my slide, and everything I'll be sharing with you today. I have so many amazing stuff to share. Okay, then we have the AI business analysis and project management program. Okay, and these are people who want to get into business analysis and project management, but utilizing AI. Or if you have experience as a business analyst, or you've worked as a project manager, you have experience in project management, it's a fantastic pathway for you to add AI to what you already know and apply to jobs within this space. And if you don't have experience or you don't have any knowledge, you build that within the program, you learn the skills, you learn the tools, you learn the technologies, and that gets you into a high demand role as an AI business analyst or AI project manager. And what's your core function as an AI business analyst? Your major responsibility, your objective in any organization is to help that organization identify business problems and how they can use AI to solve those problems. So you're going to gather requirements, improve processes. You're going to help different teams find solutions to the problems that they have. First of all, by mapping out the process. We have a problem here. What does the process look like from start to finish? You would use tools like MyMap AI to map out processes, identify where you have gaps and inefficiencies, and so on and so forth. You'd also get to use Draw.io to do what? Create process flows and see where a process starts and how that process ends. And the beauty about this is you get to do it with AI. So you're more efficient than the conventional business analyst. And when it's time to manage projects as a project manager, as an AI project manager, you embed AI to what you do. So you manage AI projects from start to finish. You coordinate people working on projects. You ensure that the timeline, the budget, and all the risk that would stop that project from getting completed, you address them right before the commencement of the project itself. So you're learning how to plan, build a roadmap. You're learning how to use AI within Jira. You're going to learn how to use Jira, which is a tool to help you track all the different tasks and activities and project deliverables within a particular project. You can go on Jira and use a prompt. I want to find out all the risk within the different tasks ongoing and summarize and engage an executive level document that I can send to the project director. And a tool like Jira, which has Rovo, an AI tool in Jira, you can use Rovo to get an executive summary within the snap of a finger just by writing the right prompts and getting the right summaries, getting the right results, and sharing with management. A conventional project manager cannot do that. A conventional business analyst can't do that as well. Then you have the AI automation engineering. Like I said, this is my favorite because these are the professionals that do what? They help to automate workflows. That repetitive task, that thing you do every single day, how do I automate it? So I don't have to do it every day. I can sit back, relax, and I build a workflow that automates my processes for me. Okay. So an AI automation engineer, you would build automated systems that would use AI tools, AI technologies to complete repetitive tasks. For example, customer inquiries. How do I ensure that I can build a customer chatbot that can respond to questions when people need to get answers to the questions they have? How can I ensure that I can process documents a lot faster? And we're going to show you a project as an AI automation engineer. One of the projects you would complete for those of you that join this program, for somebody running a small business, whenever a customer comes to buy and they generate a receipt, all she needs to do is upload that receipt on WhatsApp, because an AI automation engineer has built a system using WhatsApp as the data source. So when she uploads the receipt on WhatsApp, that's all she needs to do. Next month, any day, next week, she can go and type and say, what is the balance from the sale that I made on the 24th of July, 2026? And she types that into WhatsApp, and WhatsApp will give her a summary of the results that she wants to see, simply because she doesn't have to go write it in a notebook somewhere and have to flip through pages. An AI bot has been built into WhatsApp for her, and she can run a small business, know what is going on, get a summary of the total number of sales for that day, know the people, the customers that are owing her, by simply sending a prompt into WhatsApp. So as an AI automation engineer, you build all these different tools, you build all these different automation to help organizations become more efficient and solve problems. Rather than sitting down with repetitive tasks, you get things done a lot faster. So you're going to learn how to use N8N, for example, to build the different workflows. You'd see N8N and what it looks like. You'd learn how to automate so many tasks, automate your email, where once you get email, you get a summary, you have the ideal response to send to the customers, or you send to the business, and so on and so forth. You're going to learn how to use different tools and technologies. You'd learn how to create retrieval augmented generation systems, RAGs. You'd learn how to use N8N, Airtable, Flowise to do amazing stuff. Okay, and some of the things I'm mentioning, N8N, for example, Gemini, Zapier for automation, they sound like, what the hell is Adeza saying? Within the space of 2 weeks to 3 weeks, you'll be building amazing systems, amazing automation systems that you never thought you could build before joining the program. So I'm going to get one of my colleagues who's going to come on board and share exactly the type of projects you'll be building for those who join any of these 3 programs. But looking at the skills, like I mentioned, learn a high demand skill, focus on generative AI for data analytics and HR analytics, AI for the business analyst, project manager, and as an AI automation engineer. If you fall within any of these 3 areas, you get the very best jobs available out there. You'll not look for a job for too long before you land a job. And these are the jobs that give you the opportunity to work remotely, earn in dollars, earn in pounds, earn in different currencies. And depending on where you are, you're in Nigeria, you're in Ghana, you can earn in dollars and spend in Naira. And I'll show you people that have done this already. They've started, they've completed, and they've gotten jobs. And remember, this is a 5-step process on how you get the job. So what I want you to do is type into the chat, which of these areas are you interested in? AI for data analytics and HR analytics, AI for business analysis and project management, or AI automation engineering. I want you to type that into the chat. So type into the chat, I want to know the program you're interested in, and then I'll show you somebody who has done exactly what anyone who wants to join this program would need. He joined, he got a job working remotely for a company in Canada. He completed that job on a contract, and then he set up his own AI automation agency. I'm going to show you the gentleman who did this, but before then, I want you to type into the chat, which of these areas are you interested in? Okay, type into the chat and then we get cracking with the rest. Grace says AI automation engineering and AI for data analytics. Fantastic. Joel says AI for data analytics. Kelechuku, AI automation engineering. Eddie, AI automation engineering. Oluwaseun, AI for business analysis and project management. Absolutely brilliant. I'd like to get more feedback. We are 52 on the call. I have just about 5 to 6 responses. Let's get more. Project management and business analysis. That's Ahmed. Adebayo, AI automation engineering. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay. So the big question is, we've said a lot of things. How, if I learn the skills, can I get a job? Are there people that have gotten jobs in this area? I want to show you this gentleman. His name is Olusegun. Olusegun joined the AI automation engineering program. He completed his program. He joined sometime in November last year. Okay. Olusegun got a job, a remote job with a company in Canada. After he completed the program and he had gained all the skills, he knew how to use different tools and technologies to automate processes. He got a job working remotely for a company in Canada in January this year. He worked on a contract. It was a 4-month contract. He earned a lot of money from that project. And then he decided to set up his own AI automation engineering business. Okay, so this is Olusegun, who was an operations manager for a logistic company in Lagos, Nigeria. His background is in finance. So no experience in technology, no experience in computer science. He joined our AI automation engineering program in November last year, 2025, and he completed his program in January this year, 2026. And in the same month, when he completed the program, he got a job as an AI automation engineer, working for a company in Canada, helping them automate their processes, helping them streamline all the repetitive tasks and so on and so forth. He worked with them for 4 months from January to April 2026. And then he went ahead to set up his own AI consulting company. And I want you to hear from Olusegun. I'm going to play his video. I want you to hear from him. And this is a snapshot from his LinkedIn profile. Okay, so that's where Olusegun got a job working remotely for 4 months for a company in Canada after completing his training with us. And then he went ahead to found his own company, Luxeron AI Studio, where he currently works and helps other businesses automate their processes. And this is somebody who had no knowledge about AI automation. But within the space of 2 to 3 months, he learned the skills, he got a job working remotely, and he found his own company. All right. So I'm going to show you what his LinkedIn profile looks like. And then I'm going to come back and show you exactly the type of projects, the exact type of project that Olusegun had to build in order to land a job like this, and the type of projects you'd also be building. Sorry. Olusegun. Let me see. Okay, so that's Olusegun's LinkedIn profile. Okay, and Olusegun, like I mentioned, used to work, he was head of business operations for a logistic company, Easy Access. He was head of finance with Fountain Healthcare at some point. And then he joined the Tenalytics Business AI Automation Engineering Program. Okay, he got his certificate in January 2026. And that same month, when he got his certificate, completed the program, he got a job as an AI automation engineer / technical assistant, working remotely from Lagos, Nigeria. So he worked remotely from Lagos and he was working for this company in Canada. And 4 months after his contract was over, he started his own business, an AI studio where he helps other businesses to automate their processes. And I want you to hear from Olusegun yourself. So I'm going to play a video from Olusegun very quickly, 2 minutes, and then I'm going to bring in somebody to show you the type of projects that you get to work on. So if I click on this link, it takes me to Olusegun's video. And again, this will be available to everyone.
Hi.
This will be available to everyone and only for those who have filled the attendance form. So if you haven't filled the attendance form at this point, it's the best time for you to do that, so you don't miss out on anything I'll be sharing with you today. Okay, so let's hear from Olusegun. How did he land a job working for a company in Canada, earning amazing money in dollars, living in Lagos and spending in Naira? So you always get to see people. You see them on Instagram, you see them on LinkedIn. Oh, I just got a job, I work remotely. And you wonder, how did they get that job? Okay, I want you to listen to Olusegun very quickly and get to hear from him. So I'm going to play the video and stop. If you can hear him, you can hear the audio, just give me a thumbs up and I'll continue playing.
Hi, everyone.
If you can hear Olusegun, just give me a thumbs up. Fantastic. So let's sit back, relax, enjoy Olusegun's story.
Hi, everyone. My name is Olusegun Agbalade. And if anyone had actually told me a year ago that I'll be working in tech, building AI automations, I honestly would have actually laughed it out. I started my career in accounting with zero tech background. I had curiosities, I had a lot of self-doubt, but I had this constant feeling that I wanted more. But wanting more will not actually get me there. So I told myself that I needed a structure, I needed guidance, and I needed a clear path in which Tenalytics business gave to me. Over 11 months, I moved from data analysis to data science and now AI automation engineering. It wasn't pretty, to be sincere, it wasn't pretty. There were days I felt behind, there were days I wanted to quit. But with the guidance of my tutor, great tutor, Abdullah Musa, I kept showing up. I kept building projects. And I shared most of those projects on LinkedIn. That changed everything. LinkedIn became my proof of work. It became my portfolio. It became my voice. People could actually see on my profile what I was building, not just read on my CV what I was building. Eventually, it paid off. I landed a tech role not by luck, but by skills that I've gathered over time. So if you're actually watching this and you feel stuck, hear me clearly. Don't give up. Growth is slow before it's visible. Stay consistent because it works. Thank you, Tenalytics Business, for granting me that platform to scale high. Thank you very much.
So that's Olusegun. If you listen to him carefully, he said a couple of things, but he also mentioned that he had to get into AI automation engineering after trying so many things. Okay. And he mentioned something that you all agreed with here today. He said that his LinkedIn profile became his portfolio and his proof of work, which means any project he built and completed, he would post on his LinkedIn profile. So if you go to Olusegun's profile and you look at his LinkedIn profile, you'd see all the projects that he had completed. And that gave the employer the confidence to say that if this person can build this, then they can do the job. You remember the story of Mr. A and Miss B. Miss B having AI automation projects and Miss B having what? A portfolio that shows that she has built those projects. Remember, employers don't care about your certificates and what you say that you can do. They care about what you have done and the evidence of what you've done. So that's very important. Okay, so that's Olusegun, and that's what Olusegun has built. Now I'm going to take you to number two. The second thing you have to do. I'm going to walk through the remaining four very fast because number one is very important. That's why I spent time. If you're in the wrong career path, if you don't choose the right pathway, you choose a career path that is not in high demand, you'll struggle to land a job. So the first thing first is get into the right career path, which was what Olusegun did, and he landed a job working remotely. Now he has his own AI consulting company. Now, the second thing you have to do after deciding on the right career path and learning the right skill is you have to learn the right way. You have to do what? Learn the right way. A lot of people think that learning is going on YouTube. And a lot of people think that learning is using any platform that you want to use. Learning the right way is extremely important. The World Cup just ended, okay? And I can ask this question around football. Imagine you want to select your favorite World Cup team, okay? You want to select the team that will play in the final for Spain and the team that will play in the final for Argentina. And you have some people that all they do is to watch videos. They watch videos and try to see how the game is played. And all they do is just to watch, let's say Argentina, for example. All Argentina is doing is watching Spain's videos. That's all they do. All right. And Spain did not just watch videos, but Spain did what? Spain went on the field and they practiced. They played the matches. They got tackled. They made mistakes during training. And they could see where their gaps were and how to improve on that. So you have two different types of teams. One is watching videos to see how the other team would play, while the second team is doing what? Going to the training ground and playing the ball. They are playing the ball, they get tackled, they make mistakes, the coach would shout on them, and they improve in real time. Who do you think would know how to play the game better? Who do you think would do better? The team that watched the games on TV, or the team that actually went to the training ground and practiced and got tackled and got shouted on? So you can learn in different ways. But if you learn the wrong way, you'd lose the final. If you learn the wrong way, you would never have the skill to know how to do the job. The team that actually puts in the efforts to go to the training ground, the team that actually gets tackled, the team that gets, the coach gets, shouts on them to say, hey, you made a mistake here, this is how to do it better, and so on and so forth. That's the team that would know how to attack the game, approach the game, and get the job done. All right. A lot of people learn by watching videos. They don't learn by doing the actual job. So if you want to become anything AI, the career path I've shared with you, you must do two things. All right. You must learn in a project-based environment, which means learning by doing the job, not by watching videos, but learning by doing the job. So Olusegun getting a job as an AI automation engineer did not do what? He did not watch videos to do that. He actually built AI workflows. He automated processes. And when you do that, what do you have to do? You have to show the whole world by building what? A portfolio. I'm going to show you what a portfolio looks like, because this is where you have the evidence that you've done the job. This is your track record, to use your words, Joel. This is your track record, this is your evidence, and this is proof that you've done that job. Remember, employers don't care about what you can do. They care about what you have done, and they want to see evidence for that thing that you've done. Okay, this is the best way to learn and the right way to learn. So I'm going to bring up Alim. Alim is going to share a very quick project of what you are likely going to build, the type of project you would work on, to show employers that I can build this type of automation for you. I can come into your business and make your processes a lot more seamless, make your processes a lot faster, and make you more efficient, essentially. Okay, so Alim, confirm if you are ready to go to share. And Alim will be sharing a project for a small business called Mama B's Business. She runs a business where she sells gas, cooking gas, but she really doesn't know how to automate anything. So she does things repetitively. Okay, she's very repetitive in the things that she do, and she wants an automation for how she gets her customer data and how she can retrieve that customer data by using WhatsApp. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing, and Alim would come share next 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and we get to see what a real project looks like. as an AI automation engineer and so on. So Alim, if you are ready to go, over to you.
Hi, Adisa. Yeah, thank you very much. Fantastic presentation so far. So I've also learned from this section, right? Competency over credentials. Competency over credentials. All right. So this is a take home for me personally, right? So without wasting much of our time, I'll just jump into sharing my screen and walk us through the project I'm to showcase here this evening. So if you can hear Alim loud and clear, kindly give me a thumbs up. All right, thank you, Jimo. Thank you, Dari. Thank you, Adisa. All right, so my screen is up. We have built a solution for Mama Grace Minimart. What do they want? They want to add a system on WhatsApp that they can upload their receipt. The AI extracts the information on their receipt, log it on a database, and they can come and find out information later on using the same WhatsApp. All right. So instead of having a sale register, a sale journal, where you have a long rule writing every day, you have an automated WhatsApp system where you can upload your receipt. The AI extracts the receipt, and you can come to the WhatsApp and verify every information on the database. All right. So this is the solution. Like I said, my name is Alim Abdulwasil. I am an AI automation engineer, and I'm happy to be doing this with Adisa this evening. All right, so the solution, you can see we have a receipt on my screen. So the solution is we receive the receipt on WhatsApp. The AI extracts the data. The AI saves the record on a database, and we can ask questions later on. So you can see that we're not using sales register anymore. We're not using a sales journal. So we have automated the process. All right, so I'll walk you through the end-to-end solution, which is what you can see on my screen right now. So confirm you can see the solution by giving me a thumbs up, a reaction. All right, Samson. All right, so this solution works in 3 forms. All right, we can upload the receipts there, and we can use the voice to interact with the with the system, as well as use text to also interact with the system. So that's why you are seeing a switch here that switch to the system based on the input. Are you uploading the receipts? Are you using a voice to interact with the system, or are you using a text to interact with the system? All right, so without wasting much of our time, I'll just publish this workflow by hitting on the publish up here. All right, and publish this workflow. All right, so you can see we have the workflow publishing right now. All right, amazing. All right, so we have a WhatsApp here at the end here, which is going to give us a verification, a clarification message that your receipt has been uploaded successfully on the database. We have a WhatsApp here, which is going to show us that your input from WhatsApp is audio, so you have an audio output. So we also have the WhatsApp here that tells that your input is text from the WhatsApp, you have a text output. All right, so Mama Grace can now, she don't need to have a much knowledge of tech. She can just interact with this using any of these words input. All right, so I will just share my WhatsApp. All right, let me share my WhatsApp. All right, so this is now my WhatsApp coming up. Confirm you can see the WhatsApp for Mama Grace Minimart by giving me your best of reaction. All right, thank you very much. All right, so Mama Grace can just use this platform to interact with her business. All right, so what does she need to do first? She can come and ask this system and say, hi, and hit enter. So you wait for the output from the AI system. What is the output right now? This is a text input. So we get a what? A text output. Hello, how can I assist you with Mama Grace Minimart today? All right, so we can just upload a receipt, right? Let's say I want to upload a receipt right now. So I will select this receipt and I'll upload this receipt right now. All right, upload. All right, so the AI is going to extract every information from this receipt, and there will be an acknowledgement message coming up after the AI has received this receipt. All right, so we are waiting for the what? Acknowledgement message. All right, so you can see that we have an acknowledgement message that said received processed successfully. All right, date, total amount, cashier that that pulled the sales record, the customer name, the receipt have been what? Saved successfully. So instead of Mama Grace to use a sales register to be using pen and pencil to impute this, she can just upload a receipt and it go into the what? Into the database. All right, so the next thing is you may want to come and ask with voice and say, what is the balance from cash sales customer? All right, when you put this into the what? The input, you get an audio output, which means Mama Grace can interact either way around. All right, so we are expecting the audio output. All right, so you can see we now have an audio output. So I'll play this up now.
The balance from cash sales customer is day 0. The most recent cash sale had a total amount of $29,000, which was fully paid.
I hope you saw what just happened. Amazing. So we use a word, a text, I will get text output. We use a voice, I will get voice output. Now we can also upload another receipt and say, let's upload another receipt. All right, so this solution right now has saved Mama Grace from knowing how to write and even, buying a sales register or a sales journal. So imagine. So we're waiting for an output, acknowledgement output. All right, receipt processed successfully. You can see that we have total amount 20,950. Cashier is Bolanle Yusuf. The customer is A Okafor. So we can say what is the balance from A Okafor. All right, so we expect the AI to give us A Okafor's balance. All right, so you can see the balance from A Okafor. All right, so this is the solution we have offered to Mama Grace Minimat. All right, using text, you get a text output. Using voice, you get a voice output. And you can see the way the AI is just extracting the information and logging it on a database. All right, so this is what you can get to learn as an AI automation engineer. All right, so thank you very much, Adiza, for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Alim. Just before you leave, Alim, okay? So for anybody watching what Alim has done, can you go back to your workflow, your N10 workflow? So you heard me say N10 so many times, N10. So Alim is going to show you what N10 looks like. And to so many people, it looks like so many things happening at the same time. This is a workflow, okay? It takes you about 2 to 3 weeks for you to start building the type of things you've seen Alim doing. These were the type of things Olusegun was able to build. WhatsApp is the input source for this particular project. It can be different other sources. Okay, say you receive something in a drive, or people upload documents in a drive, a Google Drive, a OneDrive, if you use Microsoft in your office. There are different ways you can extract information, voice, text, and so on, and you help businesses, even where you currently work, to automate a lot of the things that you do. Okay, and these are the type of things that you get to build. Olusegun was able to build. I helped him get that job. So this is not what you see on Instagram. Like for so many people, they're jumping on birds, the bird is flying with them, and that's not AI. This is AI in play. This is using N8N to do what? Automate processes. And these are the type of things you get to learn. So you don't need to have experience. You don't need to have done it before. And you see the way Alim explained everything one step at a time. Of course, just showcasing to us and also looking at the fact that we don't have enough time. Alim is going to be one of your facilitators, one of the people training you and showing you what to do step by step. How do you start from the very first step until you get to the end where you build solutions like this? So once again, let's show Alim some love. Give him, let's give Alim our favorite emoji before he leaves here today. So thanks a lot, Alim, for coming to showcase. We really appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to take the next 15 to 20 minutes and I'm going to try to wrap up my session. Okay. So when I say that, you have to learn the right way, which is learning by building in a project-based environment. That simply means learning by doing the work. So you see that project for Mama Grace, it's a real business. You build a solution for what? A real business. So when it's time for you to showcase to anybody in the portfolio, you're able to show them what you have built. And that's what gives them the confidence to say that you can do the job because you've done a similar thing before. Okay, so that's number 2. All right, so we always tell people you have to work on at least 10 to 15 projects that you have in your portfolio. A project like what Alim just showed us is one of the projects you complete, something similar, a little bit different, and you get to build all these things and you have them in your portfolio. So remember, number 1, get into the right career path. Number 2, learn the right way. Learning in a project-based environment and also building a portfolio so you can show people what you built. Number 3 is to gain foreign work experience to show employers that are the best candidate for the job. Why is this important? I mentioned the other time that we operate out of Alberta in Canada and we operate out of London in the UK. Now, why is this important for you? So when you join us as a student, you are a contractor, a consultant. These type of projects you solve, these are projects for real businesses. You are building solutions for real businesses. So you're actually doing the job. And the beauty is on your LinkedIn, on your CV, you get to list Tenalytics business on your LinkedIn. And where is Tenalytics business based? Alberta, Canada. So any potential employer that wants to hire you and sees on your LinkedIn or sees on your CV that you have experience working in Canada, working for a business in Canada, you stand a better chance of getting the job. They are more confident to give you that job because they believe you know how companies in Canada work, you know how to integrate very fast into their system, into their operations, and so on and so forth. So if I want to hire a candidate, for example, and I'm in Canada or I'm in the UK, and I want a candidate who has UK experience or Canada experience, I'm going to look at the CVs, I'll look at the LinkedIn and see who has worked for a company in Canada before or who has worked for a company in the UK. So that's also important to you landing a job. For those that can show that they have experience solving problems for UK-based companies, Canada-based companies, and so on and so forth, they get those remote jobs a lot faster. When they move abroad, they can show that they have experience already doing that job before. That was what helped Olusegun to get a job working for that company in Canada. Okay, and how do you gain the Canada-based experience, UK-based experience? The projects you complete in class, the type of projects that Alim just showed us, that is what you get to showcase. Okay, you complete projects like that and you upload them to your portfolio. Okay, I'll show you what this portfolio looks like in 2 seconds, and then you'd see what it looks like. So if I click on that link, this is a project portfolio for Chiemere Frank. Chiemere joined the AI data analytics program And these are the projects Chiemere has completed. Now, anybody anywhere in the world, when you get my slides today, you can click on the link and you can interact with what Chiemere has built. So I can come here. I want to see the dashboard Chiemere built for brain tumor distribution. How does cancer affect the brain? I can click on this project and I can interact with the project, interact with that dashboard built using Power BI, but not your conventional Power BI, AI, using AI in Power BI. Okay, so I can interact with it. I can click on grade 4. I want to see what does grade 4 cancer, how does it look like? And you can see what Chiemere has built. Chiemere also landed a job. I'm going to share Chiemere's story as well. So this is Chiemere Frank. You can see the total patients that have brain cancer at grade 4 level, the average age, what part of the brain gets affected when it gets to grade 4, the cerebellum. Okay, I can click on grade 2 and it is interactive. This is what employers want to see, evidence that you can do the job. Okay, so number 1, get into the right career path. Number 2, learn the right way by working in a project-based environment that is doing the job, and by doing what? Building a portfolio to show what you've done. And number 3, gain foreign work experience, and that's what you stand to gain with Tenalytics business. So you can say I work for a company based in Canada, and you can have that on your CV, you can have that on your LinkedIn profile. Number 4 is what? You must know where to apply and how to apply to jobs. And we show you how to apply. Just giving you an example, we show you platforms that are general. Okay, general platforms, conventional platforms. We send you the links. You can go there and look for these jobs to apply, remote jobs and so on and so forth. But more importantly, we get you the jobs you would never find within the general job boards. So we curate these jobs ourselves from platforms that are paid platforms. We pay to those platforms and we get those remote jobs. We get the links and we share them with you. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, we show you how to approach businesses. With what Alim showed us just now, building a solution for Mama Grace would show you how to approach companies and propose and pitch to them that you can solve problems for them as well. And that's where the job comes from. So knowing where to apply and knowing how to apply. That's number 4. Number 5, I dare say, is the most important, which is a reference. Okay, reference. To get that job working remotely, we don't have a very good reputation. I mean Nigeria this time around, or even Africa in general. Unfortunately, we don't have a very good reputation. So any employer who wants to hire you remotely, an employer in the US, in Canada, in the UK, across Europe, they want to be sure that you are who you say you are. They want to be sure that you can build the things you say you can build. They want to be sure that you are legitimate. So what do? They reach out to get a reference from your previous employer. If you worked with a company in the US, or worked with a company in Canada, or worked with a company in the UK, and you can get a reference from them, you move to the top of the list when it comes to the potential candidates to get that job. And that's what we provide for you. We provide you with a reference that showcases that you've worked with us. We are based in Canada, and these are the things, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses, these are the projects you've completed. You know how to use this tool, this technology, and that gives you a better standing of landing the job. We did that for Chiemere, the gentleman I showed you his portfolio. Chiemere got a job. He got the offer in May this year, but he started the job in June as a data survey officer for a UK-based company. He's in Anambra, Nigeria. He lives in Anambra, Nigeria as I speak to you today, but he works for a UK-based company. And the company wanted us to provide a reference for him, which we did. We provided a reference for Chiemere Frank, and he got that job. I'm going to play Chiemere's video. I want you to see Chiemere. Chiemere was a recent graduate. At the time, he had just completed his NYSC. He didn't want to waste time like so many people. He joined our AI for data analytics program. And today, in June, Chiemere has landed a job working for a company, a UK-based company. He lives in Anambra at the moment, but he works remotely, earning amazing salary. All right. And here is Chiemere Frank. I just showed you his portfolio, the guy that created the portfolio with the brain tumor and all of that. Chiemere also joined us in November 2025. He completed his program in February. And today he works as a data survey officer with a UK-based company. He was a fresh graduate serving in Rivers State. His background was in education. He joined us for the generative AI for data analytics, completed his program in February. And in June this year, he started his job, okay, for a UK-based company trying to provide solutions, innovative solutions for the power sector in Nigeria. So the UK-based company is trying to bring in solar power solutions into Nigeria, and they needed a data survey officer, somebody that would gather customer data, create customer segments and different types of customers. What segments do they belong in? How do we sell? How do we service this type of customers? What are their preferences, and so on and so forth? They need somebody to analyze that type of data for them. And Chiemere was able to get that job. I also want you to hear from Chiemere, because he's a young gentleman, very unassuming. You'd see Chiemere and you'd never believe Chiemere is somebody who can land a job for a UK-based company. But again, it's what you have up here, not how you look. And that's exactly what Chiemere was able to do. All right, fantastic gentleman. And I want you to also hear from him. And then I'll tell you exactly what you need to do today to get your journey started. Like Shegun did and got a job in Canada, like Chiemere did and got a job working remotely for a UK-based company. All right. So again, once again, if you haven't filled the attendance, is the best time to do that. So when you get my slide, you can look at Chiemere's portfolio. This is his portfolio. I showed you that earlier. There's so many amazing projects right here you can look at. For those interested in the AI for data analytics, you'd see the type of project to complete and you add to your portfolio as evidence. Okay, but let's hear from Chiemere and let's hear how he was able to do that. So I'm going to click on that. Let's hear from him. So once again, let me be sure you can hear the audio. Yes. If you heard Chiemere say hello, okay, somebody has given me the thumbs up already. So I'm going to play the video. I want you to hear from Chiemere. Frank joined AI for data analytics, joined in November, got a job in June this year. Let's hear Chiemere. Okay, I'm here. I'm getting the thumbs down. That means you can't hear Chiemere. Can't hear. Okay, so let's do this again. Just give me 1 second. Thanks for letting me know, Mohammed, and everybody that gave the thumbs down. So I'll go back and let's hear Chiemere once again. I believe you should hear him now.
Hello, my name is Anike Chiemere Frank. I participated in generative AI for data analyst with Analytic Business last year, November to this year, February. I just want to use this opportunity to thank Analytic Business for their support, the encouragement and everything during and even after the training, for the continuous growth and development that they have provided to me. During the training, a lot was being taught. I actually learned a lot during the training from my coach, and I didn't just stop learning. After the training, I continued developing myself, looking for business brief to solve, applying for some internship, which I got, developing myself during the internship, learning as I progress in the profession, keep on practicing, because I understand that in this world of tech, practice is the key of everything. So as I keep on practicing, I was equally applying for roles that I come across with. So based on that, I was able to land myself my first role in the data profession as a data analyst. So I just want to use this great opportunity to thank and acknowledge Tenalytic Business for their support. Even during the interview, they actually helped in preparing me for the interview and everything. So it's a privilege for me. And also to my coach for his support. Anytime I reach out, he's always there. My coach Pius, I'm really grateful for your support and everything that you have done. Thank you so much. I can't just thank you full enough. I am really grateful for all the support so far. Thank you and God bless you. Hello.
So that's Chiemere. We heard Chiemere speak. That's the amazing gentleman, built amazing stuff. I showed you his portfolio earlier. And Chiemere is somebody, like I said, a recent graduate, highly impressive. There are a lot of people who are older than him. They've completed university for a long time, but Chiemere decided to take the leap and get started. He started in November, completed the program. He hadn't gotten a job at that time, but what did he do? You heard him. He kept on practicing. He kept on trying. He applied to jobs, and when he got interviews, we prepped him for interviews. He finished the first stage, he passed, went to the next stage, and eventually he landed a job working for a UK-based company, and he lives in Anambra, Nigeria. And these are the type of success stories that you get to see from people like Chiemere Frank, from Olusegun, somebody like Pavel. Pavel is a Kenyan. Pavel currently resides, is a Cameroonian, I beg your pardon. Pavel also did data analytics, completed his program. We helped him with his CV, tailored his CV, prepped him for his interviews. He built a portfolio, and Pavel landed a job 3 months after completing his program for a company in the US, based in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, in the US. And he got a job as a healthcare data analyst. When he was in Cameroon, he was a secondary school teacher, a high school teacher. But today, because he added analytics, data analytics to his skills, he was able to land a job with the Arizona Community Physicians in the US as a healthcare data analyst. You have somebody like Bukola. Bukola had HR background, and she joined the business analysis program. Bukola eventually moved to the US, and she landed a job as a business analyst. And she got this job even before she completed her program with us. And from her CV to her interview prep to the mentorship sessions, we helped Bukola and ensure that when she entered that room for the interview, she knew the right things to say and exactly what to do to get that job. You have Ahmed. Ahmed also did data analytics, but Ahmed works with the NHS in the UK as a health informatics support worker. And this is a reference that comes in. This is what a reference looks like. This is the NHS reaching out to saying, hello, Mr. Deza Suleiman, that's myself. We are currently considering this person for the role, and he has given us your details. And they're asking that I would be grateful if you could let me have your opinion regarding his suitability for the post by completing the attached reference request form. So like I mentioned earlier, organizations want to be sure that Ahmed is not an imposter. Ahmed is who he says he is, and Ahmed can do the job. This is what a reference looks like, and this is why organizations would confirm that offer for you, simply because you are legitimate, you worked for a reputable organization, and why it's important that you list that on your CV and on your LinkedIn. Okay, there's so many more, but I'm not going to dwell on that because of time. You have Ade, who got a job as a senior project manager after completing his project management program with us. This is also from the NHS, and he got a job that came with visa sponsorship. So Ade today can live in the UK, can work in the UK for the next 5 years, and afterwards he gets his ILR, indefinite leave to remain, and 1 year after indefinite leave to remain, he gets his British citizenship. Okay. And again, Ade is somebody who came in, no experience, no knowledge, but here he is today doing amazing stuff. Now, for a lot of people, the assumption is I need to have experience. I need to be a tech person to get the job. I studied industrial chemistry. Chiemere studied education in the university. Olusegun has a background in finance. You don't need to be a tech person to win with AI. It's very important. Do I need a computer science degree? You don't need a computer science degree. All the programs are designed for somebody with a non-technical background. So if you're a baker today, you can build AI automation solutions. All you need to do is come to class, don't miss classes, complete your assignment, complete your project, and you have professionals like Alim who came on board that's going to walk you through step by step. Okay, so you don't need to have a technical background. You don't need to have studied computer science. For some people, they'll say, I don't need to code. Our programs require zero coding. So you see anything that Alim showed you that looks like different diagrams with a workflow, and you're going to drag and drop. You're going to click on this and click on that, but you need to know what to click on. You need to know what to drag, where to drop it. All right. So you're not going to learn how to code. You don't need to know how to code to get into any of these areas. You have tools and technologies that will do the heavy lifting for you. All right. For some people, they say I'm too old. For some, they say I'm too young. I don't think I can get a job. Chiemere Frank, that you heard a few seconds ago, Chiemere had just completed his NYSC and he got that job. Our youngest enrolled student is 19. His mom enrolled him because she wants him to, before he wraps up his university, she wants him to know how to use all these technologies. So getting a job would not be a problem. The oldest person we have enrolled is 52. So you're never too young, you are never too old. The limitation or the constraint you think age has on you is all in the mind. You don't have any age barrier. And of course, for those of you who want to land remote jobs, no company, no organization anywhere in the developed world would discriminate against you because of your age. All right. So these are some misconceptions. I like to call them myths that I like to bust very quickly. So if I had listened to people that said you need a computer science degree, I wouldn't be where I am today. I studied industrial chemistry and I've built a career within the tech ecosystem. All right. So like I mentioned earlier, when I transitioned 12 years ago, 11 to 12 years ago, at that time, there was scarcity for the role I wanted to get into. Organizations wanted a lot of people, and so the demand was very high. We are at that same position today when it comes to AI. There is a scarcity premium at the moment. Organizations are hiring, they're looking for people, they're looking for candidates. People that have the skills are the ones that get the job. Okay, by the time we get to 2027, from next year to 2029, that scarcity will drop. Do you know why? Because people are upskilling. People like Chiemere got a job, someone like Olusegun got a job, and so many other people. I'm just sharing a few that got jobs recently. From next year to 2029, more people will get jobs. The demand starts to drop. That premium on scarcity starts to taper away. And by the time we get to 2030 and above, AI skills would no longer be a premium. It's become the baseline. Everybody would expect that you know how to use AI, and the demands would likely drop in the next 5 to 10 years and thereabouts. So why is this important? It's important because I took a decision to get into data analytics in 2014, 2015. Okay. And that's where you are today in 2026 when it comes to AI. So for those that start today, you'd find yourself in a far better position, most likely, than even me, myself, because you started early, you've gotten your first job, your second job, you've built a career, and you're doing amazing stuff. And that's why it's important for those of you that act today, you are the ones others would get to look at and say he's an expert. I need to do what he's done. I need to study him. I need to do this and do that. Okay. So for you who wants to start your journey today, it's an 8-week journey, 2 months for you to get from zero to landing a job. From week 1 to week 2, you are building the foundations, okay? The AI landscape, understanding the AI tools, the hands-on labs, you get to work on projects. Remember, like I mentioned earlier, this is not you watching videos. This is you doing what? Learning from professionals who sit down with you in class, just like we are doing today. Like Alim, sit down with you, you build together, you can share your screen, show what you've done, and you get to solve problems. Week 3 to week 4, you start the core skills, okay, where you're solving problem-specific AI techniques and workflows. You are building. You start to build the type of things you saw Alim show us today, all right? Then you move to your simulations and capstone projects from week 5 to week 6. You work on multiple projects, you get to start doing things yourself, you get to start solving problems yourself. And by week 7 to week 8, that's what I call the career launch. By now, you have your portfolio, your LinkedIn is optimized. We do that for you. We prep you for, you have prepped for multiple interviews, and you also get references from us. Your sessions are live sessions every Saturdays. So your class holds Saturdays, every Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every single Saturday, depending on the program you join. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., you have a live class. You do this for 8 weeks, 6 weeks learning, and 2 weeks for your capstone project. Your capstone project is like a hackathon where you compete with other people, you build solutions, and the best solution gets recognized. Okay, so Saturdays, that's when you have a class. So it's not you joining class every day. For those who are professionals, no. Your live classes are on Saturdays, and every other day on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, you do what? You are on the LMS, the Learning Management System. You get to watch some videos. For those of you that will join today, you get onboarded on the LMS immediately, and you can start watching your videos. I'll show you what the LMS looks like. So you watch some videos ahead of your live class on Saturday. So you come into that class and you start building, you know exactly what you have to do. Okay, so you have your live sessions. Every single session is recorded. So you can go back to your LMS to watch something that happened. Even on a Saturday, for example, let's say Tomilola, for example, Tomilola is on the call. Tomilola misses a class on Saturday. He can always go back to the LMS and watch that class again. Or what happened in class? I had an emergency, I couldn't attend. You can go back and watch, go back and interact with the materials. And during the week, on Wednesdays, you can book a session called a technical support session. So let's say you're watching a video, you see Alim build something in class, but because you missed that class, you need Alim to walk you through exactly what he did, because you just can't get it. Maybe when you tried to publish, you got some errors. Every Wednesdays, there's a technical support session to help you address all those issues. All right. You're going to work on hands-on projects. You have a community of other professionals who are trying to achieve similar things to what you want to do. Okay, so you have that camaraderie between yourself and your contemporaries. And of course, you have access to the mentorship sessions. The next cohort starts on the 8th of August, and registrations are closing. Okay, but I have an amazing offer for those of you who will be starting. I have just 10 slots available. For those of you who are ready to start, we can't take everyone because we always like to have a very good facilitator to student ratio. So we don't take everybody. So I have an amazing offer for those of you that will be starting and wanting to begin your journey in the AI space today. This is only available for today. The discount I have for you, the offer I have for you is available for today. But the next cohort starts on the 8th of August on Saturday. So for those of you that are interested in starting, you have about 13 days before the next cohort commences. So you can start watching your videos from today. You can start getting yourself used to the content from today, okay, ahead of the next class that starts on Saturday. So what that means is you get to class on Saturday, you hit the ground running on the 8th of August. All right, and I'll show you all the things you're going to get when you join. So the discount I have for you and the offer I have for you, the regular price to join all the programs I shared with you today is 250,000 for 8 weeks. That's for 2 months. All right, but I have an amazing discount. Rather than paying 250,000 for those who are interested in starting, just 10 of you. I can only take 10, even though we have about 42 people on the call. I can only take 10. So for 10 of you that are ready to start, you get 100,000 naira discount, and you get to pay only 150,000 naira. And the beauty about it is you don't have to make your payment in one full installment or one full payment. You can make payments in multiple installments. All right. So for those of you that want to make a one-time payment, you get additional discounts. And for those of you that want to break your payments in multiple parts, you can start today with just 50K. Do you know what that means? It means that with 50K, you can get access to the learning management system. You can start interacting with the content ahead of the class on the 8th of August, where you start your live session and your live class. All right. And for those that register, you heard when Chiemere said, I had an interview prep. My facilitator, my coach prepped me, Pius prepped me for my interview, and I was able to get that job. Or I had somebody to work on my CV for me and all of that. So when you join, it's not just about learning. Learning is one part of it, but getting a job is where the focus is. So what we do is, apart from your 8-week intensive learning, we help you with building a portfolio. I showed you what a portfolio looks like. You work on hands-on projects. That is projects for real businesses. You get a job reference from us. I showed you what a job reference looks like. Organizations wanting to say that I want a reputable company to vouch for you, that you are who you say you are. We provide you with that. We show you how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. We help you with your CV revamp and review. Okay, you have your mentorship sessions, and these are sessions where we bring in other industry experts, myself, the co-founder of the business, and other industry experts across multiple regions, from Canada, from the US, across Europe, and they come to share their journey with you. They get to answer your questions and so on and so forth. And you also get your interview prep. And finally, even after you are done and you've exited the program, you always have a lifetime access to the community, to lifetime community access. So in 2027, you want to access something within the community, interact with people that you've learned with in the past, you have access to that. So this is what comes with the full package of just 150,000 naira. And again, you can make the payment in 3 installments, starting with 50K. But again, like I said, I have only 10 slots available. And I'm going to close out all the 10 slots right on the call. So as the slots run out, I'm going to tick it. If the first person has made payments, I'm going to tick it and the slot is gone until all the 10 slots are gone. Okay, so how do you take advantage, before we get to Q&A, because I know some of you have questions for me. So how do you make payments? How do you take advantage? And so on and so forth. All you have to do, you click on this link right here. Okay, my colleagues would share the link in the chat as well. So you can use that in the chat. If you click on that link, it's going to take you to this page. Okay, it takes you to a page like this. All right, and you can select the program you're interested in. So for some of you, you're interested in the AI for business analysis and project management. For some of you in AI automation engineering. For some of you in AI for data and HR, depending on what you're interested in, just come in right here. You can click on view program, and this shows you the difference, the curriculum. You can look at the curriculum and all the things that you get to learn. Okay, so I can see all the tools, the practical sessions I'm going to have, and the exact outcome of what I'm going to build. Okay, the tools and technologies, Julius AI, Zebra AI, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, once you've looked at the curriculum, okay, or right from the page where you have the program, you can simply click on enroll. And if I click on enroll now, let's say I decide to go for AI automation engineering. I want to build amazing automations like what Alim showed me. I want to go for the AI for data and HR. I simply click on enroll. Okay, and when I click on enroll, what happens? I can see the program overview, I can read about it, and so on and so forth. And I come in right here and click on choose your payment plan. Remember, you can make a one-time payment, or you can simply break your payment into multiple parts. So I click on this, choose your payment plan. If I'm making a full payment, one-time payment, instead of paying 150, I get to pay just 120. So you get an additional 30K discount. Okay, if I'm making payments in 3 installments, I pay 50K. Today I get access. I start watching my videos, interacting with the content ahead of the next class starting on the 8th of August, and I can make my subsequent payments afterwards. So I pay 50K 3 times before I wrap up my program, okay? And I can choose my cohort. I want to start in August or I want to start in September. So I can decide to start in August. That's the next available cohort. So I choose that, starts August 8, 2026. I want to make a one-time payment. You can select that. Or I want to pay in 3 installments, you can select, and so on, okay? And you can choose the currency. So I want to pay in Naira. I want to pay one-time payment in Naira, and I click on pay. The moment I click on pay, what happens? It takes me to where I can go ahead and make payments. You can pay with a card, you can do a transfer, you can pay with a USSD, depending on how you want to pay, okay? So that's simply how you get your journey started. Now, the moment you've completed payment, okay, you get an automated, confirmation in your email, and you also get added to the LMS, the Learning Management System. And this is what it looks like. So the moment you get access, all you need to do, you go to your dashboard and you can go to your lesson videos. And we always tell you, try to watch your videos ahead of the class. So I can go to my lesson videos, I click on open course, and I can start watching my videos. Okay, we expect you to have completed module 0 before you start. Module 0 before you start. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to watch the introduction. I want to watch what LLMs are all about, automation and AI agents, what is an API, how do I set up Gemini API? So module 0 is expected that you complete before you start on the 8th of August. And that's why those that start early have a smoother journey, smooth sailing. You can start watching. And these are very short videos. This is 2 minutes. You want to watch LLMs and all of that. This is about 3 minutes. API, know what an API is about 2 minutes. How do you set up a Gemini API? So altogether, you have content of about 30 minutes or thereabouts for module 0. And that's what you're expected to complete before you start your first class on Saturday, the 8th of August. All right? So that's how you get started. And this is your LMS, okay? These are your lesson videos. You can watch them anytime. And then you have your classroom. The classroom is where your sessions happen. Okay, where your sessions happen. So I want to show you something. The Mama Grace project that Alim showed us just a few minutes ago. Let me see. I'm going to look for that and see if I can show you. Okay, I'll look for that and see if I can show you. And that's what some people are building in class already. So they're building that in class. I think that's it right here. Yes. So you have your class material. Okay, so you can look at your class material. You'd see the documents of what you're going to learn in class, and you get to see the project from Mama Grace. Okay, just to show you where that project came from. Let me see. So these are all the steps you need to know before you even start building the project itself. Okay, so yeah, so you can see Mama Grace Gas Limited. All right, you have a business context, the problem, and what's the mission of the agent you want to build, what that agent is going to do. So that's a live class. Okay, it's a live class. So if you miss the class, for example, you can always come back here, click on the class recording, and you have access to the class recording. So you can watch exactly what Alim did in that class. You can watch all the questions people had and all the questions they asked. Okay, and that's Alim right there teaching, the same Alim that presented today. Okay, and you can see where you are building your agents on N8N. So you work together with Alim in class. It's going to show you how to build that project among so many other projects that you're going to build. Okay, so when chat message is received on WhatsApp, what happens? All right, so that's how you get started, and that's how you get cracking with your journey. Okay, so while I was speaking, 2 people had made payments from my dashboard. 2 people had completed payments while I was speaking. So I have 8 more slots left. Once you've made payments, you can send a message to this number, and one of my colleagues would help you. So if you're outside Nigeria, just add a +234 to that number. Okay, and somebody would help you address any questions you have. Now, if you're trying to make payments and you're outside the country as well, you want to pay in dollars, you have different currencies you can always use. Okay, you can pay in dollars, you can pay in pounds, you can pay in euros, and so on and so forth. Okay, so if I click on enroll, I want to show you what it looks like very quickly. So you can pay in different currencies right here. Okay, and you can simply do a transfer if you want to do a transfer like Adebayo is asking. I want to make payments. I want to make a bank transfer, but it's not going through in the Paystack checkout. So Adebayo, what I want you to do is, Uche, if you're on the call and you can help Adebayo out, please help him out and direct him on what he has to do. Okay. So I have 2 payments. I almost erased that. I have 8 slots left. I'm going to take questions from the chat and see if you have questions for me. For those of you that have questions, I saw a question. Somebody said, I'm a teacher. What's the best career path for me? So Grace, there are 2 career paths I want you to consider. Okay. As a teacher, there are 2 areas you get immense value from. Number 1 is the AI or data analytics. That's my number 1 recommendation for someone like you. And the reason why I say that is, as a teacher, you work with different types of data. Okay, student data, you have records for the student scores, the number of students you have in class. You have so many data points. How to create a database using SQL to store student records and so on and so forth. How do you analyze the student data to identify where could there be potential issues that you need to optimize in order to have learning, effective learning take place? What data are you not currently capturing as a teacher so that you can get the best outcomes to the students and so on? And what we've seen happen so many times, teachers that eventually add data analytics. And we have somebody I'm going to share again, Grace. I'm going to share this gentleman once again. I know I shared his story earlier. His name is Pavel. So if you see my slide, it says, from classroom teacher in Cameroon to a healthcare data analyst in the US. Pavel was a high school teacher in Cameroon. He taught physics to students in secondary school. He did what? Data analytics. He joined the data analytics program with us, and today he got a job as a healthcare data analyst. And people might be asking the question, you might have this in your mind, that how did a teacher with 0 healthcare knowledge get a job in healthcare as a healthcare data analyst? Okay, that's the question, but it's very easy to answer. How did Pavel get a job? For somebody who worked as a teacher, I'm going to show you how. Now, I'm going to do that using Chiemere's project again. The project, okay, I showed you a project on brain tumor distribution analysis. Chiemere is not a healthcare professional, but he worked on healthcare projects where he showcased how cancer affects the brain. You can see another project here that says public hospital utilization analysis. This is also a project in healthcare. You have smoking health risk analysis. This is a project in healthcare that shows how smoking affects the different organs of the body. So if I click on this, for example, I want to see this project, and I click on that, it takes me to what Chiemere built. Okay, and it's in healthcare. So I can see how smoking affects the heart, what the average age of patients that have, you know, their heart affected by smoking, the number of cigarettes they smoke per day, what's their average body mass index, and so on and so forth. All right. I want to see how it affects the kidney. I can click on kidney, and I can see how smoking affects the kidney. Someone is unmuted. Sorry, Janet, I think you're unmuted. All right. So we can see how smoking affects the kidney. I want to click on the lungs. And the beauty about this is it is interactive. It is not a static dashboard that is just a picture. No. I click on things and it interacts. And when you get my slide at the end of today's session, and you click on that link and it brings up this particular project, you can also click and interact with it. So this is somebody who is a recent graduate who has worked on multiple healthcare projects. When he gets into an interview for a medical organization, a healthcare organization that wants to hire a data analyst, he can speak about healthcare projects that he has completed. And that's exactly what Pavel was able to do as a teacher in Cameroon, who got a job in the healthcare space as a healthcare data analyst in the US. By what? Working on healthcare projects. Okay, so my number one recommendation to you is the AI for data analytics. Okay, so that's my recommendation, Grace, and I hope that helps. Okay, the only other recommendation I might give to you is AI automation engineering. And the reason why I would recommend that to you is simply because it's also a career path that gives you access to numerous jobs that are available. Okay, but number one is go for AI data analytics. If you want to look for a second option, or you can even do two, but start with one, complete one first, and then afterwards you want to do another one, you can always do that. But that's what AI automation engineering. Okay, and I'm recommending this to you based on what you currently do at the moment as a teacher and the best pathway for you to transition. Okay, I've gotten the third payments coming, so I have 7 slots left. I'm going to take questions from the chat to see those that have questions for me. Must you have a laptop before you go? Absolutely, Chiamaka. A laptop is extremely important for you. That's your tool. It's like a farmer going to the farm. You have a lot of tools that you need to work in the farm. Your laptop is your farm tool. That's the tool you need to get the job done, Chiamaka. So if you don't have a laptop, you need a laptop to get this done. All right. May I have a Naira account to pay? So Adebayo, if we look through the charts, my colleague Uchechukwu has posted a link for you. All right, it's called the start button. You can click on the start button. I'll show you what the start button does when you click on it. So if I click on the start button that Uchechukwu shared with me, it brings me to this page right here. Okay, I want to make payments in Naira. I can simply come in here and I'll type I want to pay. Maybe I want to make a one-time payment of 120K, and I enter that. I enter my email address, and then I go ahead and make payments. Okay, so I can enter my email and I click on continue to making payments. If it's 50K you want to pay, Adebayo, you type 50K in. All right, enter your email and then you click on pay. Once you've done that, just send a message to Uchechukwu. Her phone number is also there. That's the same phone number on my slide. All right, so that's an option for you to also take if the pay stack option is not working for you. Please, is this offer available for the cohort in September? Chioma, it is available for September for the first 10 people that pay today, not for everybody. Like I said, I have just 10 people I'll be taking for today. This thing keeps on erasing. I have 3 slots that are gone already. So I have 7 slots left. So Chioma, what that means is you can secure your spot with 50K and then you select the September cohorts and you start your journey the first Saturday in September. I'll just confirm that date for you in September. Okay, so that's on the 5th of September. So the cohort in August starts on the 8th of August. The cohort in September starts on the 5th of September. Okay, so but you need to secure the spot today. All right, I have 6 slots left. The 4th payment just came in. So I'm going to take questions in the chat. We have about, I think, maybe 10 to 15 more minutes left. Let me see if I have more questions. Okay, I've answered the question, must I have a laptop? Thanks. But what I mean is, will the discount be available for those who want to start in December? No, it wouldn't. This discount won't, Chioma. Okay. Oh, Richard is saying, I can't find AI for data analytics. It's there, Richard. Okay, let me show you how to get access to that. So once you click on the link, it's going to take you to this page. Okay. It takes you to this page. All right. It takes you here. You see all the courses, you see all the programs available. And you'd see AI for data analytics right here. Okay, so depending on the device, if it's your mobile you are using, you might see it at the second to the last. Okay, but that's it right here. AI for data and HR analytics. Like I mentioned, we get to separate you guys in terms of the projects you work on. For those who want HR, maybe you're a HR professional, you want to work on HR projects, you get to do that. But the core of the program itself is how to use data analytic tools and technologies like Chiemere Frank, what he's built, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's what you need to go for, Richard. That's it right there. Let me see. Chioma is asking, paying September and starting September, so the discounts won't be available for that. I think I answered that question already. I got a Providus account and about to pay. All right. So Adebayo, once you're done, you can just send a message to Uchechukwu and she'll have that sorted for you. I work in quality control and assurance in manufacturing. Is AI data analytics? Absolutely. You have roles like AI quality control analyst. There's somebody who got a job like that. Let me see if I can show you the gentleman who got a job in Canada. What's his name again? Abednego. He also had experience in quality control and assurance, and his recent job title clearly captures that. He got a job as a quality improvement analyst with the city of Winnipeg in Manitoba, Canada. All right. And what did he do? Data analytics. Okay, AI in data analytics. That's what he did. So what I want you to do, Richard, is your quality control, quality assurance would easily dovetail into data analytics. So combining those two, you have the ability to help improve the quality within organizations by creating a dashboard to look at the type of products that have defects, why they have those defects, and so on and so forth. And you have insights into how to start solving problems. So that's what this gentleman does at the moment for a company in Canada. And again, completed his program with us at 10Analytics. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Richard. Let me see more questions. As a product manager now with a background in customer support, representative and virtual assistant, all certified. What AI automation is best for me? The best program, I would say, based on what you do at the moment, I want to make something very clear, okay? In choosing a career path, there are two things that are very important. Two things. The most important is what? Your interest. That's the most important. What are you interested in doing? Okay? For some people, they want to sit in front of the screen like Alim, like Olusegun, build AI automation workflows, and those kind of things get them excited. Okay? Automate processes or sending an image of a receipt, and I have a WhatsApp bot that extracts that information and saves it in a database, and I can ask questions and get results or get answers. I can use a voice prompt and I get a voice response. Those kind of things, you find them interesting. It's important that you go for the things that you find interesting. And the reason why I say this is you want to build a career out of it, okay? And you build a career out of things you are very good at doing. And you are good at doing the things that you are interested in, and you always want to go back and go back to it. All right? So that's number one. Number two is now my recommendation based on what you currently do. That's based on your current experience or your background. So for some people, you might have studied, say, logistics, supply chain in the university. And you ask the question, Adeza, what do I think I need to do? Combining logistics, supply chain, the best career path to combine that with is what? Data analytics. And that's what I'll recommend, okay, based on your knowledge, based on your background, based on your experience. So that's the second aspect, your background, experience, okay, and so on and so forth. So to come back again, Chioma, your interest is number one, but what I'll recommend based on your background, based on your experience and what you currently do is the AI for business analysis and project management. And the reason why I'd recommend that is as a product manager right now, you are one way or the other involved in projects within the organization. You gather requirements as a product manager. You ensure that you are a part of the life cycle of that product that's going to be built and developed and designed. And you're going to learn a lot about the software development lifecycle. They're going to learn about requirements gathering and using agile methodologies, the agile methodology on projects as an AI project manager and also as an AI business analyst. One of the core characteristics of a business analyst is communication, interviewing, elicitation, called elicitation essentially, asking the right questions to get the right type of results that you want. So you must have good communication skills to ask the right questions and so on and so forth. Okay, so you have experience as a virtual assistant, as a customer support representative. That shows already that you have good communication skills, and that would distill into business analysis. And of course, as a product manager, you're already involved in projects, bringing product to life, and so on and so forth. So project experience, the agile methodology forms a very important part to that journey for you. And that's why I recommended that. So AI for project management and business analysis, in my opinion, would be where you'd get the best return on investment. Okay. Adebayo is asking, I want to pay via bank transfer, and it shows start button. Start button is just like a pay stack, for example. Okay, so I think I showed that earlier, but if you keep on having issues, Adebayo, just send a message to the number you have on my screen, a WhatsApp message. That's Uchechukwu. She's going to help you address it. So that's the start button right there. So you're going to see Tenalytics, data and strategy. Okay, so you're not paying to start button, you are paying to Tenalytics. We just collect the payments using a platform called Start Button. I hope that makes sense. Just the same way we collect payments using Paystack, or any organization could use Flutterwave or Stripe, or as the case might be. So you enter the amount you want to pay, select the currency, and so on, and that is how you get that sorted. Okay, so I think I have just 4 more slots left. I have 4 slots left, and we're going to wrap up in the next 2 minutes. So let me see if I have more questions. I just completed my Google project management course, and I work in power generation company. Can I go for AI, business analysis, and project management? That would be the reasonable way to go. What power generation company did you work in? Ogechuko, I'd like to know. Because I worked in power as well, multiple power generation, distribution company. Okay, or what do you do in power generation? Maybe that's the question to ask. Maybe you don't want to disclose where you work, which is fine. So what do you do for that power generation company? But if project management is something you want to do, because you've already taken first of all, with all due respect, from my own opinion, my experience, and what I've seen, Google certifications are a waste of time. They have so many certifications. And I'm not saying this because I offer services in the same space. I'm saying it because I've also been in that situation years ago where I also needed to learn. And I've tried everything, a lot of people try today, from the Coursera's to the Udemy's to the edX to the, all those things. Google certifications, a lot of people do them. It's a waste of time. If I had the opportunity to advise anybody ahead of time before you start, I'll tell you not to waste your time, but you've gone ahead to do it already, Ogechuku, which means you have an interest in that area. Okay, so you want to go for AI, business analysis, and project management. That complements some of the things you would have learned, and I'll give you the reason why it's a waste of time. I'll tell you why. Okay, so a lot of people did Google data program with Google Data Analytics or something like that. And what they taught, they'll teach you R, a bit of R, not R comprehensively, R and I think Tableau was another tool that they get to teach. And they don't teach you Excel, they teach you Google Sheets, because of course it's Google. So you're going to learn Google Sheets when you get to do a program with Google. And like I tell you, when you compare Excel to Google Sheets, Excel is maybe here, Google Sheets is maybe here. So why on earth do I need to learn a skill that is so irrelevant in the grand scheme of things to what the job market actually requires from me? Why do I need to learn that? So let's call this Google Sheets, let's call this Microsoft Excel. So Excel, when it comes to spreadsheets, is the leader within the space. And why do I need to learn R? And for what exactly? Okay, for somebody getting into data. So, and you can't know for somebody who is a beginner or somebody going into it, because I made that mistake too as a beginner. But knowing what I know today, fast forward 11 years down the line, that's why I can tell you confidently and take it to the bank that those type of things are a waste of time. All right, so if you know somebody as well, advise them. You want to learn the tools and technologies that employers want from you, not because a particular company that has a similar tool to what is required in the market offers that same tool. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Anyways, Ogechuku, and I hope I also answered your question. So Christiana is asking, I have knowledge in data analytics, but I think with my background in management, I'm concluding my MBA, I would like to move to business analysis and project. What do you advise? If you have knowledge of data analytics, Christiana, what do you do at the moment? And what type of career do you want to build? Okay, because concluding MBA in itself, depending on what you want to use the MBA to do, will determine the next direction for you. Okay, so I want to know what you do today at the moment beyond your MBA. Okay, what's your current job role? Are you a recent graduate? Or are you somebody who finished from your bachelor's and immediately you went for your master's? I'd like to know. Just provide more context so I tell you exactly what I think you need to do. Okay, payment done, fantastic. Richard Green, I've made payments, absolutely phenomenal. As a civil engineer and a master's in project management student, which of the course is best for me? Your civil engineering background really, I'd say, would not really have any transferable skills into any of the areas I've shared today. And sometimes that happens. I studied industrial chemistry. My industrial chemistry knowledge had no transferable skills to data analytics for me. Okay, so your civil engineering skills, I would say, would have little to no transferable skills. So I'm going to focus on your project management, which shows where you want to be. And I tell people this: the project manager, the business analyst of 2026 is totally different from the business analyst and project manager of 2025. And how do I mean? The business analysts today are doing amazing stuff with AI. Same with the project managers. All right. And what I've seen people doing is using the conventional PMI body of knowledge, the PMBOK, and that's what they still use to learn project management. That's good. Okay, it gives you access to the knowledge and the theories and the concept of project management, the entire body of knowledge. However, when it comes to the ability to do the job, applying the skills, knowing how to use tools like Jira to track project deliverables, knowing how to use tools like Draw.io to map out processes and so on and so forth, knowing how to use Rovo in Jira as an AI tool to assess the risk inherent in projects, summarize your project documentation to send to team leads and so on and so forth. It's a total different ballgame. Okay, so if you're interested in project management as a student at the moment, that's Betty Young. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'd say go for the project management, AI for project manager and business analysis program. You get the best complementary skills to what you're already doing at the moment. Okay. Joel is saying, I live and work in Anambra, registered for AI data analytics August. Can you connect me with Chiemere? Absolutely. Chiemere Frank, who has successfully completed and gained. So once you've joined the program, Joel, Uche is going to take note of you, and then we'll get that sorted. Chiemere is still part of the community. We bring Chiemere to Chiemere and other people, not just Chiemere. We bring them back into our mentorship programs, so they also come to answer questions. For example, Chiemere, tell me what questions were asked during that interview. How did you even get the job for somebody living in Anambra like myself? So we bring them back into mentorship sessions to come share their experience. So you get to, it's a lot relatable when you hear that from the person that actually did it than hearing it from me advising and telling you exactly what to do. All right, so you're going to meet Chiemere definitely, and I'm sure we can maybe have a physical meetup or something. That'll be really exciting. Joel, okay. Let me see. Oh, you work in FIPL. Okay, Chuku. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So definitely knowing that I also worked with SPG, Sahara Power Group. So definitely you know that I worked with FIPL. I visited FIPL with my colleagues. Then Amina, with Omotoni. If you remember them, I don't know if you were there at the time where we do MIS. Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. You work in the control room. Okay, so let me go back to your question, Ogechuku. So FIPL is one of the companies under SPG. So that's interesting. Really love to have you on board. So which of the programs should I go for? Completed Google project management, since that's the direction you want to go. I think that's a fantastic place, a fantastic career path for you to choose, Ogechuku. Okay, AI for business analysis and project management. Okay, I'd like to connect with you after the call, Ogechuku. So if you are joining the program, please let me send a message to your coach, your facilitator, anybody. I'd like to get to connect with you. All right. I also got to worked with SPG. And FIPL is one of the companies under SPG. All right. So that's quite interesting. It's always a small world. All right. I think I'll take my last question and then we wrap up for today. And I'll take Bassi's question. Okay. Jesse is currently a planner, event planner at the moment. Fantastic. So as an event planner, sorry, I think it was Jesse. Was it Jesse I told to tell me what you did? Let me try to look for the previous question. I can't remember. I know I told somebody I don't know if it's you that said you were doing an MBA and you were thinking of business analysis. If that's the same person, Jesse, with what you do at the moment as an event planner, whether you like it or not, you're already working as a business analyst. Okay, and I'll tell you why. One of the things you do as a business analyst is to gather requirements. Gathering requirements is understanding exactly what this company wants, or understanding exactly what this particular stakeholder wants. Okay, now as an event planner, what do? You get to meet with your clients and you want to so you have those conversations, you have those meetings. Maybe it's a Zoom call, maybe it's a physical meeting, or maybe it's a phone call. But what you are doing indirectly that you don't know is what? Elicitation and requirement gathering. As an event planner, you get to interact with multiple stakeholders, your vendors, your customers, your suppliers, your decorators. And in business analysis, that's simply called stakeholder management and engagement. So as an event planner, you're already doing business analysis related skills and tasks that you don't know you are doing. And of course, managing an event in itself is a project. It has a start time, it has an end time, and it has so many moving parts in between. There's a budget, there are resources that have to be in place. You manage people to ensure they get things done as at when due. You manage risk to ensure those risks don't come up during the event itself, and so on. So you put mitigants, mitigating, stuff in between to ensure that different risks that you've seen ahead don't happen. Essentially, those are project management skills. So I think you made the right decision because I think I remember you mentioned, I can't just find the previous message. Okay, but if that's you, then definitely AI for BA, business analysis and project management would be fantastic. I hope I provided clarity. I have 4 years experience as a manager in international education and immigration. Not a research. Oh, that's Christian. Okay. I have 4 years experience as a manager in international education and immigration. So an immigration consultant. And Christian wants to do what? You have knowledge of data analytics and you currently have an MBA. What would I advise? So knowledge in data analytics, you currently have an MBA and you are an immigration education consultant. So these are 3 areas that don't entirely interlink. Data is, I would say, the outlier out of the 2, because when you look at what you do at the moment and you look at your MBA, then business analysis and project management would be the way to go. But data analytics in itself is a different set of skills. Okay, so those are the 2 things I'd say you should consider. All right, and one of the ways you can eliminate one of them is this. So it's more of an elimination game rather than a selection game, because the 2 areas I would recommend is AI for data analytics or AI for business analysis and project management. Now, how do you eliminate one? As a project manager, or as an AI project manager or AI business analyst, you are not somebody that would work from the background. You are somebody that would always be in front of people. You're going to organize workshops. You're going to organize case study, focus group sessions. You're going to have meetings with people, make presentations, give project updates. You're going to manage people working on projects. So you're not somebody who's going to be in the background solving problems and just presenting. So a typical AI data analyst would make presentations maybe twice in a month, once in a week, depending on the organization. All right, you're going to work every day, no doubt about that. You solve problems. But in terms of face-to-face interaction, of you interfacing with people as a function to how well you do your job, for the business analyst and the project manager, you do that on a day-to-day basis. So if you're somebody who is an introvert, you don't want to speak to people, you want to just do your work, get it done. If you have to present, you make your presentation, share your ideas, share your findings, then the AI business analysis project management will not be for you, because you will, as an AI project manager and business analyst, you'll get to interact with people on a day-to-day. You'll be in meetings, project updates, you'll hold people responsible and accountable for the tasks and responsibilities on ensuring that the project gets done to the requirements of the project in itself. But as a data analyst, AI data analyst, you might have to present maybe once, twice a week. You might have to interact with people, ask questions a few times. Like the gentleman that works in FIPL, for example, we travel to River State to interact with the CEO to ask a couple of questions. But we did that maybe once or twice a quarter. So in every 3 months, maybe once or twice. Most of the meetings were virtual and all of that. So there was no face-to-face interaction on a day-to-day basis. You do your work in the computer, you do your dashboard, do your analysis, extract your insights, your recommendations, and you make those presentations. Okay, so that's a way to eliminate one of the two, depending on who you are. If you're somebody that can do the work of an AI project manager, interface with people, stakeholder management, and so on and so forth, then that'll be a good place for you to be. First option for you to choose, given what you currently do at the moment in international consulting and immigration. All right, you got somebody who doesn't want to do that as a career going forward. You want to get your data, analyze your data, build your dashboard, come with your insight, present, show what the data says, tell a story from the data, show your recommendations and what the business needs to do, where you don't have to interact every day with people. Then the AI for data analytics would be the pathway for you to choose. All right. Having said that, we spent quite a lot of time answering questions. And while I was doing that, all my slots are gone. Okay. All my slots are gone. I don't have any slots left out of the 10 people that we have that I can take for today. All right. What we're going to do, because there are lots of requests, people sending messages saying that I'm trying to make payments, but the payment is not going through and so on. So this is what our advice that you can do. If you have payment issues, we're going to leave the payment open until midnight. Okay, so the moment we move into the 25th of July, that's on Saturday, the discount, the offers will be gone. All right, so you have the opportunity to still make payments until midnight. And it's at this juncture, I'd like to call it a day. If you've gotten value for the time you've spent so far here on the call, just give me a thumbs up, give me your favorite emoji. And I also want you to do something before I leave here today. All right, I want you to go follow us on LinkedIn. So search for me on LinkedIn. My name is Adeza Suleiman on LinkedIn. Okay, so that's my profile. You're going to see my picture. Show you what I look like on LinkedIn. So that's me right there. Okay, so look for me on LinkedIn. All right, follow me and I'd love to interact with you, every single one of you. Also search for Tenalytics Business. Okay, search for Tenalytics Business and also follow Tenalytics Business across all platforms. All right, so you get to be one of the first people that get to see the updates and the amazing stuff that we are doing. And you also see people that are building amazing stuff like you, people that are learning and are sharing their journey on LinkedIn, like this gentleman, for example, Michael. Michael built this and he's talking about what he's built and he has uploaded. Okay, so do the same. And this is somebody who uploaded his workflow. Rashid built something on NA10 and he's sharing what he's built. Okay, so follow us across platforms and I'll be very happy to engage with every single one of you. In the meantime, I look forward to working with you, every single one of you, helping you achieve the desired outcome starting on the 8th of August. You know somebody that is interested in getting started as well, share the message with them. All right? And thank you very much for being a part of the session today. Have an amazing evening and enjoy the weekend ahead. Cheers, everyone, and have an amazing time.